OK, same origin policy. This is a fix to the problem we talked about, where websites might be able to access each other's resources. And that's bad. We don't want an attacker's website to be able to access your bank account data or read your emails. So to fix this, the web browsers enforce something called same origin policy. And again, in the web, because we have browsers and we have servers, we have to think about who is responsible for each of these defenses and attacks that we'll talk about. And this particular defense is something that the web browser enforces. So servers don't think about same origin policy at all. It's not their problem. It is the web browser itself that is responsible for making sure that different windows that you have open are not able to interact with each other. So if you're the person writing the code for Google Chrome, you have to write a same origin policy into that code. And anyone browsing the web using Google Chrome is going to have same origin policy enabled. So the goal of the same origin policy, as mentioned, is to make sure that websites that are unrelated should not be able to tamper with each other. So something we have to figure out if we're implementing this is, what does it mean for two websites to be related? What does it mean for two websites to be unrelated? So that's something we'll figure out next. So to figure out if two websites are related, we will take the URLs of the two web pages that you have open, and we will look at 3 different things to decide if they're related. The first thing you'll look at is the protocol. And remember, that's the thing before the double slash. For this class, is either HTTPS or HTTP. Then we'll look at the domain. And remember, you think of the domain as which computer you're accessing on the web. And finally, we'll look at the port, which says if that computer has 2 web services running, which web service are you thinking about? And the number disambiguates which web service you're thinking about. And if there is no port, by the way, the default numbers are 80 for HTTP and 443 for HTTPS. That's something we'll see later in networking too. But for now, something you can just write down on your cheat sheet and know to be true. So that's how you determine the origin of a website. And what we can do is we can compare the origins of 2 different websites to see if they are related or if they are not related. So this is how we define, at some level, what a website is or who it belongs to. And then we can check the origins of different websites to see if they are related, in which case they can access each other's data, or if they're unrelated, in which case they should not be able to access each other's data. So the way you check, it's pretty simple. It's basically string matching. So all you have to do is take your 2 domains, say here's a domain and here's another one. You compare the protocols. If they match exactly, that's good. Then you compare the domains. If they match exactly, that's good. Then you compare the ports. And if they match exactly, that's good. If all 3 of them match, we say that the websites have the same origin. We say they belong to the same operator, and they should somehow be able to communicate with each other if you have 2 tabs open. But if the domains are different in any one of those 3 fields, then we say the origins are different, and those 2 websites are forbidden from talking to each other. So if you have those 2 websites open in your browser will say, no, it cannot have one website talk to the other. So it's basically just string matching. Here are a couple of examples. Let's say you open one browser window with http tune.cs161.org, and your second window you open https tune.cs161.org, and we just do basic string matching. We see that this string does not match this one, so it's no good. These 2 websites in your browser are forbidden from talking to each other. And same thing here. If I open these 2 websites, the domains don't match. So again, they can't talk to each other. And in this case, the ports don't match. This one defaults to port 80. This one is 8,000. Those numbers don't match. So they are forbidden from talking to each other. So it's basically string matching. But this is kind of an awkward fix, to be honest. For example, maybe tune.cs161.org is actually operated by the same people as cs161.org. So maybe you might say, actually, I think these 2 should be able to communicate with each other and tamper with each other's data because they're owned by the same organization, I think. But unfortunately, The browser has no way to know that for sure. So the browser's same origin policy says, I'm going to compare these 3 values and consider the websites to be related only if they're the same. It's not a perfect way to figure out if 2 websites are related, but this is something that we built after the fact. It's a piece of security that was grafted on after we designed the web. So it's a little bit awkward, and it does its best to try and figure out if websites are related.